As I predicted, we are not getting to the fallow mire in this one. I got distracted doing personal quests and a few other things. Our missing assassin questline did update, so we get to see that.
Any Venatori activity?
If my agents find anything, you will be the first to know.
Back in the Exalted Plains for the moment, we found another letter.
Much of Gaspard and Celine's war has been fought here. You can tell.
This is nice. Wet all the way from my ankle to my... other ankle.
Iron Bull also makes a snide comment in one of the watery areas of the Fade that it must be preying on his deep fear of wet calves. So, while I doubt he's actually afraid of it, it does seem like he doesn't like having his feet wet. Up here is one of the rogue Templars that Cassandra wants us to go after.
One of the rogue Templars. It's over. Thank you for bringing us here.
Back at Skyhold, we're going to catch up with Dagna.
You were there. I have to know what it was like. The colors, the smells, the magic. I'm sorry, it's just so exciting. You went into the Fade. If you have time, Inquisitor, do tell.
You seemed excited that I fell into the Fade at Adamant.
Excited? Spring gets me excited. This is a wonder. It's probably hard to relate, but dwarves don't dream. So I can't even guess what it's like. I can't even understand what dreams are. But you were there. And came back. Can I take a sample?
A sample?
Oh, that sounded sinister. I meant, can I cut a little piece off of you and do things to it? That didn't sound better, did it?
You're after something. What is it?
I don't even know. There's this feeling, you know? You don't know. But I will. Your people cleaned you up after your fall. I wonder if anything is left. So much to think about. Ready for anything, Inquisitor?
You mentioned a Grey Warden who helped you start your studies?
Not any Grey Warden. The Grey Warden. The hero of Ferelden is a hero in Orzammar, too. It's incredible that someone like the hero of Ferelden would stop to help the little people. Literally.
The Warden affected you in a special way.
Talk to anyone, they'll say the same. It was a dark time. There was one light. She saved us. She saved me.
You gave up so much. Left your home. Was it really that amazing?
Yes. I left my home and my family, but I just knew I could be more than a smith. I wish my people weren't stuck in the past, and I regret that my father couldn't imagine another life for me. But I don't regret what I did.
Your years of study have paid off.
Oh yes, the mages said I brought a valuable perspective. I've even presented my work to the College of Enchanters. I wanted in exchange. The Surface could learn about lyrium smithing, and Orzammar would gain knowledge of magic. But now there's no college. And so far as the Shaper is concerned, I'm castless. So you're getting my best work, Inquisitor. Let's make some great stuff.
All right, rein it in. You have work to do.
Right, sorry. I get carried away when I think of it. Ready when you need me.
There
Since
must
we're
be
pretty much
something
done
here.
with the Exalted Plains, I came over to the Hinterlands to wrap things up here. First thing we're going to do is recruit the, quote, sister, unquote, Tanner as one of our agents.
Noon, Your Worship. Thank you for all you've done.
I am Sister Tanner. May I help you?
I found the letter you sent a Templar named Corin.
What? Shit. You can't prove anything. A letter from a rogue Templar. Nobody is going to care. So, What do you intend to do?
Let's see. Impersonating a sister, smuggling, dishonoring Chantry roads. I can think of more if you like. Or you could put your skills to use for the Inquisition.
And you'd keep quiet? Nobody else has to know?
That will depend on how honest your efforts are on our behalf.
All right, I'm in. Seems like the Inquisition is the safer bet these days.
I think she's also one of the few ones where you actually shake hands and you don't do that clap your hand over your heart thing. Darting back to Skyhold, some of the timers ran down. We have located Reese and Evangeline. The name of our enemy quest also finished, so Dorian's very happy with us. We're now deploying Reese and Evangeline. I don't believe it actually matters which advisor you pick for this. In this particular playthrough, I went with Josephine just to keep them, quote, out of harm's way, unquote, since they've already been through a lot, but I want to say I've used all three and there's never been a problem.
Inquisitor?
I must, of course, indulge Dagna.
Let's see what we have.
We also have the next step in our Sutherland crew, a crew of ambassadors. We're going to put Cullen on this one. More because he's the only one free than out of any particular outcome.
Inquisitor.
With that out of the way, we can sit in judgment on Master Erimond for what happened at Adamant.
Adamant's influence continues, your worship. I submit Lord Livius Erimond of Virantium, who remains loyal to Corypheus. We found him alive, offering extreme resistance, likely because the Order will ask for his head. In more colorful terms. To say nothing of justice you might personally require for what was suffered in the Fade.
Many places felt the pain of Adamant. You will answer for a great deal.
I recognize none of this proceeding. You have no authority to judge me.
On the contrary, many officials have communicated that they will defer to the Inquisitor on this matter.
Because they fear. Not just Corypheus, but Tevinter, rightful ruler of every piece of ground ye trod in your pathetic life. I served a living god. Bring down your blades and free me from the physical. Glory awaits me.
I had to think about this for a minute. Only having the two options really startled me, and then I remembered I'm normally a mage, and so I normally have the option to make him tranquil, which I don't right now. I'm not a mage.
Lord Erimond, any protection you thought you had has apparently been withdrawn. You will die by my hand.
Petty actions. Truth lies in the next world.
And if we turn around and click the throne again, we get to judge Ruth.
Another of the lingering pains of adamant, your worship. Ruth is a senior warden of the Order. She was one of the many who slit the throat of another to bind a demon. She does not contest this. In fact, she surrendered to us. She requests no mercy. She wants the public justice of the headman's axe.
Asking for no mercy seems redundant, given the crime.
There is no excuse for my actions. I murdered another of the Order. That blood marks me more than the Blight ever could.
Accepting their actions while thralls of Corypheus, many treaties allow wardens any extreme if it opposes the Blight.
I can't do it. I can't use the greater good to justify my crimes, as if it would create a future I could be a part of. It is wrong that this broke me. I've done worse with full sanction. I can do nothing except be an example of the cost.
So for all that my Kunari didn't get the Andraste's chosen dialogue in the Fade, I apparently get it here.
The Inquisition stands for faith. Our work has greater purpose. Sometimes we need a reminder. Sir Ruth, the Herald of Andraste forgives you in her name. Find peace in that.
Your worship, I will try.
Now that we're done with that, we can run down and say hey to Varric. And see what he and his little guest are up to.
I appreciate the warning, but you shouldn't have come yourself. What if the guild found out, or what's his name?
Are you worrying for me or for yourself?
A little of column A, a little of column B. I am the expendable one, after all.
Oh, don't worry, I'll protect you. We'll just have to... Well, this is a surprise. You're the Inquisitor, right? Bianca Davry, at your service.
Your name is Bianca?
It's a common name. Half the girls in the Merchants Guild are named Bianca. The other half are named Helga. I lucked out.
I take it you're a friend of Varric's.
Who isn't a friend of Varric's? You have met him before, right?
What were you talking about?
Bianca's got a lead on where Corypheus got his red lyrium.
The site of Bartran's Folly, the tag Varric found, has been leaked. There's a Deep Roads entrance crawling with strange humans carting out red lyrium by the handful.
How do we know they're not using multiple entrances to get to the tag?
Navigating the Deep Roads isn't like the surface. There's no accurate maps of the whole system, and there are cave-ins, darkspawn, lava floods. If you find a route that gets where you're going, you don't deviate. Trying to find another way could be deadly.
Who could have given away the tag's location?
There were a few people who knew. Hirelings from the expedition, a couple of close friends.
How they found out isn't important. What matters is we know where they are now.
If it's such a secret, how do you know about it, Bianca?
I told her. Right after the expedition, I wrote and told Bianca what we found. I had artifacts that needed buyers, and she had more contacts that would pay for them. Plus, I owed her.
You can get there from Orlais? It's a long way to the Free Marches.
The deep roads are all connected. Or they used to be. Collapses and such. Some of them on purpose.
They really are roads. They spanned the Dwarven Empire. Went to every corner of the continent. Maybe further. In theory, you can get to any tag using the deep roads, but in practice... there's a reason nobody uses them anymore.
We need to deal with this. As long as he has this source, Corypheus is that much more powerful.
I couldn't agree more.
I'll keep an eye on their operation. If you're interested in shutting it down, you've got my help. Try not to leave me waiting too long, Varric. I've got my own work to do, you know.
Right. That's not going to be trouble at all. Let me know when you want to head to the entrance.
gonna go and do Varric's quest, but I want to get this one first because they're in the
Please,
same
are
area.
you with the Inquisition? As you've wandered, have you by any chance seen a ram that is, different? Lord Wolseley wandered off, and he's very special. If you could find him, I'd be most grateful.
What makes your ram so special?
Well, he's always brought the family luck, and his advice helped us make our fortune.
Your ram offered advice?
He's a very special ram.
Your ram has gone missing?
Yes. I'm certain that if he heard his Jimmy missed him, he'd come right back. He's likely at our family's old summer cabin. It's by the lake in the southern hills. If you do find him and send him back, I'd be happy to pay you.
I'll speak with you later.
If you find my ram, please send him home.
Lord Wolseley is always hanging out in the area near where we recruited Blackwall. One time I accidentally attacked him, and it turns out he's a demon.
Lord Wolseley, I presume. A young man named Jimmy would very much like you to return home. Oh, good.
Or I should probably say spirit, because he's helpful and nice. Now we head into the deep roads for Varric's quest.
Finally. I started to think you weren't coming.
Nobody said you had to hang out in the creepy cave while you waited.
Well, I did wait, so let's make this quick. These idiots are carrying the red lyrium out in unprotected containers. We don't want to stick around long enough for it to start talking to us.
Why would the containers need to be protected?
Lyrium is incredibly dangerous in its raw form. It can poison or kill dwarves, and we're resistant to it. Sometimes it just explodes. No warning.
Basically, only crazy people mine lyrium.
The mining cast doesn't just sling it into a bucket. It's carried in special containers that keep it under control. And that's normal lyrium. The red stuff is worse. I wouldn't be surprised if most of their miners die just digging it up.
You seem to know more about the effects of red lyrium than most.
Varric told me plenty about what it did to him. And his brother.
How did you find this operation in the first place? There must be hundreds of Deep Road's entrances.
I've used this entrance in the past. Varric's not the only surface dwarf to explore the deep roads. Oh, I've got to admit, I was pretty surprised when I came here and found it full of humans.
If you're coming with us, I hope you can handle a fight.
No, I thought I'd cower helplessly while you do all the work.
She's a decent shot.
Decent?
You want me to admit you're better than me in front of the Inquisitor?
Let's not waste any more time, shall we?
Normally when I do this quest, I do all of the Valamir stuff with the Carthage Wars and the Darkspawn, but we've already taken care of that, so I'm just kind of gonna skip ahead to the bits that are relevant to this one.
This is what you do now?
Beg pardon?
Skulking around in caves, shooting guys? Is this your day-to-day?
I usually try to avoid the caves.
You had me worried, you know.
What did I do now?
That letter you sent me about the red lyrium was the first I'd heard from you since the Chantry explosion.
Had it been that long?
Seriously, if you died in that mess, I'd have come back to Kirkwall and dug you up just to kick your ass.
What would you do if I'd been cremated?
Kick your ashes, of course. I built these doors. They probably shut this one from the other side when they heard the ruckus we were making. Ta-da!
You've been here often enough to renovate the cave?
You already know I've used this entrance in the past. I don't know if Varric's told you, but the Merchants Guild is cutthroat. Literally. I built the doors to keep rivals from following me down here and arranging accidents.
We'd better keep moving.
After you. You know, this is almost fun. Kinda like old times.
I don't recall us ever shooting people together.
Remember crashing Bartran's guild dinner? We might as well have shot him.
This isn't nearly as dangerous as pissing off my brother.
There you are. We won't be able to use this entrance again.
Bianca.
You were the one who leaked the Tig's location.
It's not like that. Not entirely. Shit. When I got the location, I went and had a look for myself. And I found the red lyrium, and I studied it.
You know what it does to people.
I was doing you a favor. You want to help your brother, don't you? I just wanted to figure it out.
You could have been killed. Or worse. And for what?
Knowledge! You're not gonna beat Corypheus with ignorance. I found out that red lyrium... It has the blight, Varric. Do you know what that means?
What? The two deadly things combined to form something super awful?
Lyrium is alive, or something like it. Blight doesn't infect minerals, only animals. I couldn't get any further on my own, so I looked for a Grey Warden mage. Blight and magical expertise in one, right? And I found this guy, Larius. He seemed really interested in helping my research. So I gave him a key.
Larius? He was the Grey Warden we met in Corypheus's... Oh, shit. I knew something seemed off.
I didn't realize until you said you found red lyrium at Haven. I came here and... well... then I went to you.
That name means something to you, Varric?
He was at the Grey Warden prison where we found Corypheus. And he definitely wasn't a mage before.
You had to know we'd figure out what happened, Bianca. Why did you insist on coming with us?
Varric told me what people were doing with the red lyrium. I had to help make this right.
You'll have to answer for all the damage you've done.
I know I screwed up, but we did fix it. It's as right as I can make it.
This isn't one of your machines. You can't just replace a part and make everything right.
No, but I can try, can't I? Or am I supposed to wallow in my mistakes forever, kicking myself? Telling stories of what I should have done?
Ha! As if I would tell stories about my own mistakes.
Oh, for pity's sake. Would you two just get a room?
Sorry, Inquisitor. We've done all we can here. Bianca, you'd better get home before someone misses you.
Varric.
Don't worry about it.
Get him killed, and I'll feed you your own eyeballs, Inquisitor.
We'll technically finish this by speaking to Varric again at Skyhold, but that wraps it up. One of the other last quests that we have in the Hinterlands is the Conscientious Objector, where we have to get a key and then head to a little cabin in the woods. And I have to stop and gather every piece of elf fruit I can possibly find. Here is the cabin, not far from where the mages had dug themselves in previously.
This place is creepy. Really something that I want more backstory on. I want to know why the brothers are dead. I want to know why there's demons in the cabin. I'm kind of hoping that maybe this will be something that as I read the books, or maybe in some DLC, or
Well, not DLC, because the game is, like, officially over. But maybe in the next game, somewhere. I know DLC can be kind of a controversial topic, and I definitely understand the point of it should all be released at once. But I do kind of like downloading further adventures and getting to extend the life of the game and have more surprises. Now we're back in Redcliffe, coming and telling Jimmy that we found his
Lord
friend.
Wolseley came back. He says you convinced him. Here, for all your trouble.
Hey, Seeker. If I hit a guy high while you go low, you think we could get him to flip?
Flip?
Yes. Ass over tea kettle, you know.
Now there's a turnip phrase.
Yeah.
I suppose that could be done.
I've always wanted to get a guy to flip.
And that is why we love Iron Bull. Okay, it's one of many reasons, but that's still a very important reason. Back at Skyhold, we are going to officially finish the Well Ship quest.
I'm glad to have answers, but... shit. The second she showed up here, I knew. I let this mess happen. I gave her the Tig. I am not good at dealing with shit like this.
I don't think anyone is equipped any better than you are.
No, the point is, I don't deal with things. If Cassandra hadn't dragged me here, I'd be in Kirkwall right now pretending none of this was happening.
You know that's not true. You've worked as hard as any of us to stop Corypheus.
Is that true? I don't even know anymore. Thank you for your help back there.
After all this, do you think you'll see Bianca again?
I always do.
Closing out this segment, we have a report on deploying Reese and Evangeline. We see that things went well and that they do remember Cole. This is an interesting one, and one that I haven't seen before. I'm not actually putting it into play quite yet. But yeah. They want me to conquer them in the bedroom. Good to know.
Word is spreading that the Wardens were banished. There have been murmurs from some quarters about what might happen if another blight comes.
And on that note, I'll see you guys later.